It's another rig fight. Trying to work on that game audio in just a sec, see if we can get it up. Right now, these guys are beaming in another split. Wakey going down again immediately. Maybe the reason we don't have these guys as POVs because they're not surviving off spawn or whatsoever. Because I think this is game 3 where we're seeing Kiriachi and Letwick make it all the way past into early game. Okay. But they haven't landed rig possibly in game 2. I think this is an immediate landing, not a push, because their ammo counts are very low.
No, I think they still ramped out from at least the shanty. They're so quick with it. Sits at 22, pretty much right on pace for where it was in week number 1 and 2, slightly higher, but 22 points is where you need to be if you want to qualify. Nice big shot onto Mavjo to finish that off, and then the full elim, they get the loots and move right back up. So a really nice pick off from Hardfind and Astro.
There's no way he's gonna risk going for a shot. People dying all around him, people going down to this man at the back on a wood wall. Has to be Shambles. Savid goes for the shot. Now the full pad all the way forward while everyone's already based up. There's a height fight going on. Complete builds all the way around, and no one is on low ground all the way here. This is huge.
Perfect layer. There's an old tarp too back in his way that's all brick. He actually has to back off that because there was a team in there, but he did get in the zone from 1 pad. He still has 3 remaining. This could be very good as a solo. You can clutch up a lot of distance, save so much with pads. You don't really have to worry about your teammate. You don't have to worry about it at all. Maybe a short pad in the next zone going back over towards Steamy, but not in the stack quite yet. So we might see the 9th zone end up going in one of those. That could be rough.
Last pad was very, very open. He sets up a low pad for himself from someone else's stairs on the very opposite side of this entire circle, and now inside one of the Steamy Stack research facilities. This man has so much cover around him and gets to refresh mats too. This is a huge brain IQ play using other people's builds and your own pads in combination to get the best position in Storm.
I love how he's still looking for opportunities here. He's going to find old bases, a team right above him. Got to be careful, blocks them off. Yes, he does. And back straight down to ultimate low. In zone, takes the minis. He's doing it. And he still has 400 materials, 2 launch pads, and an RPG.
The server could mess everything up for everyone though, as the zone could go over a stack, and right now there's just a bit of it in there. 9th zone's gonna come in too. He looks up top to see if there's any blockage. There's not. A potential for mid-ground going right beside the nose of someone on a minigun all the way up on height, and now getting focused down. Only wood left, goes into his cones, but no protection. 2 minis left, 1 more rocket. This looks so difficult. His game just might be over.
It might be. There's a player in his cone. He misses the shot, and yes, that's it. It's Clement who takes him out and starts to rise the ranks. He's playing the floppers. Kinstar and 4ZR still up. I believe Astro, I saw him get a couple of elims. This is a little bit farther back. Janice and Tayson were still alive at this stage of the game too. And up above Storm Surge, they've got a big layer. I think this was actually slightly above where Scully or Savid was. There's somebody in the box. They aren't going to be able to pressure that off.
Now they'll try to though. Instead of pressuring off, they'll try to pressure in. A big shot coming in from Kinstar. He gets the first shotgun connection there. I think that might have been onto Kaizen. Traxo actually goes down, or Yaxo goes down. Clement looking for the clutch, has to be in zone. It's not possible, but they do get 3rd place. And there's a small celebration. These guys though holding out in mid-ground, box to box, have to find a way just to survive. They're not even trying to play the storm. They're just trying to look at any possible way to get free, a chance to just breathe. Get out of these muddy waters. Steamy Stacks, the zone finally closing in. We know how low ground looks just off of that POV we saw from Savid trying to clutch. There's no launch pad here available though. 4 floppers. The one thing Kinstar cannot do is go for a 50-50 box to box. He needs to play safe near the storm line so he can just dip in and then have those 20 seconds to play with and try to outplay anyone in front of him.
And such good layers this entire time, just like we saw the other game, but he gets in the box. Can he continue to track? He's still in. Here comes the fish. 4ZR on his own now. Still has the grappler if they need to get up and up quickly. This is a good potential here, but 4ZR goes down. The big pump though from Kinstar responds onto Hardfind and Astro, but did not get, importantly, that grappler. He's going to go around the side of the zone. It's completely going back through all these old builds. He still has so many floppers. There's a player right inside that box. He's got to take this over. Yes, he does get in and follows through, but how can you continue? He does anyways, right through. It doesn't matter. Phases in through the wall. And now, where is it? This zone's so complicated to navigate, so hard. Another player in a box, he has to pressure, he has to try to get into the right side if this guy's gonna hold. Yes, he does. Kinstar, 6th place, almost takes that, but it's not gonna be enough to pre-fire. And now, who is this up on height? They probably just won the game again! Aqua and Stompy, the Aqua Classic. You all of a sudden think that it's all quiet. 4th game, and possibly set up for another 2nd place or a win from Aqua and Classic. No way.
It doesn't matter what type of zone it is. These guys have played over natural, they played over valleys, and now all the way in one of the hardest zones to navigate on height. Steamy stacks, because you never know if there's launch pads or free just rotation vertically from these stacks. These guys hold it down, have that Aqua minigun, and the Stompy Scar pressure. So many shields not used because they're playing perfectly and getting all the siphon. Just one elimination for now though, but we're waiting on exactly what happens afterwards. Mat management as well. 47 mats still left on Stompy. These guys are solo tarping each other themselves as well, so there is usage there, but it's just so smart. Connecting over to the stacks, we see Clement there on low ground trying to survive. Astro, hard find, still alive for just now, but we know how that ends up ending. And the pressure is just non-stop. These guys are playing perfectly.
And I wonder what happened to Refsguard and Scram. You saw them look up when the zone pushed off finally. It's not going up the stack again. They broke out the final build so that nobody could land, nobody could grapple up there and build off of it because it's so difficult to connect, especially to the side of it. And it's just full control. I don't see a way that this is a lost game, especially what we saw Kinstar, how much of a difficult task it was to get through this final zone. So many metal brick structures. It was impossible for him. I don't think it's possible for anyone else. And when Stompy and Aqua are on high ground, it's definitely impossible to win the game.
I mean, the only unfortunate part from their point of view is usually when they're in these positions, when 8th zone hits, that's where they get the majority of their minigun collaboration eliminations. This time, though, because of how many times the zone kind of bounces back, because it bounced back to all the way to where the 6th zone builds were. There's so many hard mats in between, so many buildings that are naturally occurring that are still left. They don't find any eliminations just yet. They might secure the very last one. That individual might go down to Storm as well. An 11-point game is very good, but to boost these guys up, to hold off the rest of the lobby from 1st place, they need a lot of these final eliminations. Stompy's actually in zone. Do they end up winning this is the question. There's a duel alive with HP. He goes to the 50-50, goes down. The siphon's possibly there, but the win ultimately comes out.
In Aqua, 36 points, but it's a tie game. Even with the 2 wins, despite all that, it's hard finding Astro making it even.
There's always a team lurking in the shadows. That 2nd place, the 5th place consistent finishes. These guys have come 7th, 3rd, and 8th, but have high elims in most of the games that they get placement. That 3rd place, 4 eliminations. This 8th place, 7 in that game. They didn't get ultimately stopped by Kinstar, but they got far enough to just tie up